That's the spirit.
Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries?
Oh, back again. Tell your co-workers, tell your friends. Now it's season 3, VPDs in 3D. Put on your glasses, turn on your TV. Steady standing Stelena. Ooh, Klaus in the house, troubles are brewing. What else can Catherine ruin? Call the MFPD, it's Ash and Petey. About to release more podcasts on the streety.
Where's Stefan? He gave himself over to Klaus to save his brother.
Slow it down. Sipping on vervain, swerving in my lane. Brothers bond in my vein, trying to kill the pain.
Just give me the cure, and I'll do whatever you want.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampire, but please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash.
Hello.
Ash, should I change the lyrics to that song when it's like, slow it down? It's like, whatever it is, swerving in my lane, brothers bond in my veins, trying to watch Squid Game.
Oh.
Just to be topical.
No.
Ash, the Squid Games have taken over the world. We're playing Squid Games every single day.
Are we? I don't know.
No, and I have watched one episode, and this isn't about that.
And I have nothing about it, really.
No, I just thought that it it kind of rhymes with that part of the song.
Yeah.
And I just thought about it. Ash.
Random.
Ash, anything else? Anything new in vampire life this week?
It's spooky season.
That's true. I think we probably introed that last week.
Spooky season. People are trying to figure out their costumes. I always tell my first graders not to tell me what their Halloween costume is. They want to talk about it for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
But I tell them, don't tell me what you're going to be. And they do a good job of not telling me. And I don't tell them what I'm going to be. And it's the best surprise to see them just show up full costume. We have a classroom full of just all this different stuff. And then I always try to take a picture. I take a picture of every kid, but I'll, pair them up if they have, costumes that go together.
So, one of the masked people from Squid Games and then one of the players from Squid Games.
Sure. But, one year I had, a Supergirl and a Superman. Mm-hmm. And I've had, different Star Wars people. I've lumped them together, get a little pic. Mm-hmm. Have them try to act out their little character in a pose. It's just really cute.
Have you ever had a Damon and a Stefan?
No, I would love that so much. Also, all my news is first grade news. Mm-hmm. I had a first grader ask me today if I've seen The Quiet Place. Uh-huh. And I was like, yeah, the scary movie?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. She's like, have you seen A Quiet Place too? I was like, no, I haven't. I was like, have you? She said, yeah, she's seen both of them.
Wow, this 6-year-old is more current than you?
Yes. I was like, weren't you scared? She was like, no.
I know.
She's a boss.
Yeah, I mean, this was actually more your experience than my experience of watching Poltergeist when you were 7 or whatever. I didn't do that.
Yeah. I don't know that I was supposed to, but I did.
I watched the first Halloween, Michael Myers, Yeah Baby Yeah, when I was probably 11 or something, and that was very scary, but I wasn't in on the early spookies. Oh, except, Ash, the loophole. The Jaws loophole,
yes.
Which maybe I've talked about on here before, but I've definitely talked about it to you before.
Yeah.
But I'm going to repeat it. So Jaws came along, and the gnawing sound that will be on this episode is our beautiful pug chewing on an antler. All right. Speaking of gnawing, Jaws. Jaws came...
Wait, no, is that right? No.
No.
But I feel like that is the sound.
You're gonna mess me up if you.
No, I won't do it again.
Bum bum, bum bum.
Oh yeah.
Bum 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 bum. All right, Jaws. Jaws came around before the PG-13 rating, so it was just PG, and at whatever age I was, probably 10-ish. I could see PG movies, so I was watching all the Jaws. Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, whatever the rest of them were, however many there were. I watched those. Here's a gross memory. All right, so I remember watching Jaws, and then I went to either play basketball, or probably I was watching my older brother play basketball, and it was like, all right, bring a snack. And I brought just a hot dog cut up in a Ziploc bag, and I put some ketchup in that bag. So I was eating this ketchup-y, gross hot dog slices, and I was like remembering Jaws. There was a lot of blood, and like he bites this guy, and all this blood spurts out, and I was like, ugh, I feel like I'm eating gross blood.
Blood legs or something.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah, we watched some weird stuff growing up.
But I still really like Jaws. And, but I didn't watch a lot of spookies when I was young. Along, like, the costume lines and, like, dressing up for work or whatever every year, I dress up on Halloween at my work, too, but right now I'm working from home, so this week on my weekly Zoom meeting, I was kind of like, I almost even asked all the people on the call, I was like, so are we gonna do like dress up in our little squares like November 1st? It's like closest to Halloween, but it's after Halloween. Otherwise we'll be dressing up on like the 24th or some, like a Monday that's kind of way in advance, or 25th or something like that. That's too early.
Yeah.
Are we gonna?
Because you only meet on Mondays. Is that
Monday,
what you're saying?
pretty much. Yeah, we have like a weekly Monday thing with all the people. So, or are we gonna like do something on Friday on the line happy hour or something? Also,
you should ask.
Also, it would be funny if my show that I'm working on right now did like Hollywood Squares. In our Zoom, and we dressed up like someone could be, who's that? Quipster? Who's that? Oh, yeah, you know.
I have no idea.
There's a large gentleman with all the quips who's always...
Did they do them on Drag Race, or someone thought about doing someone that was on Hollywood Squares on Drag Race?
Probably. I don't know.
That's all I know.
I'm not going to pull it right now. It's this guy who, like, always writes for the Oscars, and...
But you should ask about the costumes. I did a Zoom costume last year.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I wore. My pink wig, I think. But, yeah, we got to do it. It's fun.
Totally.
It brings joy. We got to be happy.
Me and you have a very funny couples costume that we're doing that we will not disclose.
No.
Stay tuned to, like...
I was going to say stay tuned.
Okay. Stay tuned for that.
Jinx.
Ash.
We're about to go into the longest cold open of life.
Well, yes, but first I have to say that this is Season 3, Episode 2, The Hybrid.
And the word hybrid to me means a combination of distance learning and in-person learning.
Yes, and to me, it's a Prius.
So we were really confused when this episode started.
Yeah, certainly haven't heard of a hybrid. Well, except I think we already said that maybe Kate Beckinsale is one of these hybrids in the underworlds, or somebody is. She probably has a kid with somebody in that. I don't know. This isn't about Underworld, Ash.
No.
As much as you bring it up.
Every time. It's always me.
Previously on Ash. I even had a note on the previously on.
I was like, you stopped it like 22 seconds in.
Klaus says, I've heard about you. The impulsive vampire in love with his brother's girl. Was that kind of like his voice?
You have to wait and see.
Right. Probably it was so not. All right, Ash. He says this. Who was telling on Damon like that? Who put it like that? That's so, like, hey, Klaus, you gotta hear about this vampire. Look, he's in love with his brother's girl. He's so impulsive.
You know who probably it was?
Stefan?
Catherine. She's always booty chattering around about.
What else can she ruin?
Exactly. His reputation.
Yes. But that was my first, I think, previously on note.
Yeah, someone did Damon dirty.
Yeah. Someone's telling stories or truths. Cold open. There's a new news person talking about Andy Starr's death. I do not believe that we had a chyron for who that was. But I think it was Annie Meteor.
I was going to say, like, circle. Like a shape instead of a star, not...
What was their first name going to be?
I didn't get to it. You said Annie before I could think.
Barbara Circle. All right, and that's our game for the night. We're not playing a game. That was our game. Okay. Elena shows up.
Rebecca Triangle.
Becky Triangle. Actually, Andy Starr, Rebecca Triangle. Now I'm just going to be doing this.
Megan Sphere.
Karen Cone.
All right, you win.
Elena shows up at Damon's. Where is this? The mansion? Is this Elena's mansion she's going back to? He's doing his research on his map, like The Wire map.
Yeah, but he is ripping it all up.
He's ripping it up. Tells Damon. Elena tells Damon that Stefan called her. Oh, but he didn't say anything.
How'd you know it was him? I just knew.
And Damon's like, Stefan is binge drinking on the country folk in Tennessee. Because he always, speaking of quipsters, he's a regular, that guy that I mentioned earlier.
Right. The Hollywood Squares guy.
Elena has hope, though, Ash.
Of course.
And you would think that would be where the cold open would end. You would be wrong. Alaric is in bed with some brothers Bond on the nightstand. Elena stops by Alaric's loft to get info about Stefan. She's not going to give up on Stefan.
Because he would never give up on her.
Right, and he hasn't. He's all doing all this stuff. For his bros and his friends.
Girlfriend.
She's not going to... Oh, she's calling Alaric Rick now.
Yeah, come on, Rick.
They've been tracking werewolves, those bros. Then, Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. The cold open is not over.
I know. You were like, this is still the cold open? Yes. And this, like, still shot of some
Trees?
green top trees of these Smoky Mountains. And the text gave me some weird flashbacks of the Wishbone show from growing up.
Yeah.
I feel like it was pulled straight from there. Because that show went back into, like, history and always had to, like, say when and where.
Ash.
What?
The best thing ever, would be if you recut the audio from Vampire Diaries onto Wishbone.
That would be good.
Because he's in the present and in the past, right?
Yeah,
So it could be like 1846 and Wishbone could be like...
Is Wishbone little Stefan or little Damon?
I don't know. And also it would fall apart pretty quickly because, like... I don't know.
You need more dogs, I guess.
Yeah. But for at least one moment, just having Wishbone being like, Damon, I have something to tell you.
Yeah, even if you did it for like 15 seconds, it would be funny.
Maybe it just is a GIF or like a Reels or a TikTok or something. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Well,
Must still be funny.
I like picturing Wishbone's mouth moving because he's like chewing peanut butter or whatever, and like something Damon said comes out or something.
That would be funny.
Brother, I'm back from the Civil War. Klaus and Stefan are on a hike, bro hike.
Yeah.
Stefan is carrying Ray. Ray.
From Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. Sutton, something.
Ray Sutton.
All right. They find a pack of werewolves, and they've heard of Klaus, and he's like, fantastic.
My reputation precedes me, or whatever.
Yes. Ash, we go to the logo, and now you've seen the 3D episode of The Simpsons.
Yes.
We watched it in betwixt these episodes, and doesn't that title look like it's from the 3D episode?
It does. I get it now.
Yay. Lockwood, Lady Interim Mayor Carol Lockwood.
You are adding names, okay.
Is pouring Brothers Bond for breakfast. Haven't done that yet. Me, personally.
You haven't? With the legit Brothers Bond?
I don't
or
think
in
I've
general?
drank whiskey for breakfast.
I don't think I have either.
It might have
Maybe on an airplane? But no, because we can't drink on airplanes anymore.
That might have to be some Thanksgiving behaviors. But she's doing it on a regular day.
She's stressed, Pete.
She has like a vervain syringe
It's a dart.
that she puts droplets into the coffee. And then Ty comes up, drinks some coffee.
She's watching him. What's going to happen?
I feel like somebody's watching me. He sings. And then he says the coffee, he thinks the cream is bad.
Yeah. Were you confused?
No, it's just like, did he even put cream in there?
I think so. Right. He made it. Yeah, he made his little cup, and then she's watching him, and then he's like, ew, this tastes gross. But he didn't go like, ah. And
he's like, I think the oat milk turned to bread. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. I guess have cream curdled. I don't know. All right. She confronts Ty.
Confirmed.
She confronts Ty about Caroline sneaking out. And yeah, because they were hooking up, and she did the walk of fame. Take it back, ladies.
Yeah. Okay.
Walk of pride. I don't know. Anyway, she was leaving the house, and Lady Lockwood like shot at her with a dart. Probably that same dart, or
yeah,
probably from a pack of the same darts.
She had the darts.
And she calls Caroline a prostitute. Ty says she's not a prostitute. And Carol Lockwood calls Bill, a mysterious Bill character. And she's like, I'm in a vampire situation, Bill.
Come help, Bill.
Bill. It's Bill Bellamy, actually.
So random.
Jeremy goes to the grill to talk about the night before with Matt. He saw Vicky again. I guess Jeremy and Matt were partying or drinking.
They were in the stoner room or whatever.
Matt's like, you're dating a witch. Tell her.
Yeah.
That was funny.
He was right.
And then Jeremy is also funny, and he says, I don't need a witch. There's examples all over the internet.
He didn't want to call up his girlfriend to talk about his ex-girlfriend's ghosts. He's like made such a big deal to say that.
He didn't ask Bonnie. He asked Jeeves.
He didn't go in that. They didn't show us a scene of him going in that chat room he always goes in, though.
Oh, yeah. He had to talk to, like, Vamp Lover 69420.
Right.
Which is actually my screen name. Currently. Oh. It's my Gmail.
Oh, my gosh.
Matt doesn't want to contact his sister. Matt is emotional, and he's like, if you're messing with me, man.
I mean, you think your sister's dead. And you find out also she was a vampire later. And then you find out now she's a ghost. Like, what? Like, can she just, like, rest in peace?
Yeah, what's she gonna be next? A friggin'
Ghoul?
A ghoul? A goblin?
Yeah. Whenever Jeremy's talking about this ghost stuff in this whole episode, I think he's way too casual about it. I think it's really weird how he's just like, yeah, I want to see these ghosts, and, like, you want to help me, and blah, blah, blah.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
I like the ending. Okay, hey, that brings me to something else. Ash. Even in this show, but, like, on, like, the OC, sometimes there's, like, a Caleb C story or something.
Yeah.
Or like the parents, the parents we're not watching it for the parents at that point. Maybe if we watched it again, be like, hey, these parents, we relate. But we were watching it for the kids. We were kids.
The teens.
We were teens watching teens. Even on this show, sometimes I'm like, oh, this storyline, there's like 3 storylines going on. I'm like, let me see the other 2.
Yeah, right.
This episode, I was into these storylines.
Oh, good.
Like, usually I'm like, oh, Jeremy, like, C story. I'm like, I like this Jeremy C story.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. You're becoming a true fan.
Uh-oh. And then, okay. Oh, yeah, and I was going to say, I liked how this ended.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
This storyline. This episode. I don't know how it actually ends.
Right.
Just this episode. Okay. Ash, come on, move it along. Just kidding. Jeremy tells Matt, he's like, you were the one she loved the most, Matt. You can connect us.
Mm-hmm. And Matt said nice things about Jeremy. I don't know if he says it here or later.
I think he says later. I think we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Probably will.
All right. Okay.
All right. Also at the grill is everybody else. As usual. Like Alaric, who's just kind of standing there.
He's just waiting for Elena.
Ty and Elena, they're talking about werewolf stuff. And Ty is talking about the werewolf life, and it sounds like he's describing nomad land or like hashtag van life.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we live in campers, and that old lady poos in a bucket, and Frances McDormand, we see her poo in a bucket, and campfires and s'mores every night, and
turning into wolves.
Stefan is in this mess because I bit Damon.
Yeah.
Ty says.
He's like, so I owe you. But it's like, man, people should be more mad at Tyler, but they're not.
No. He's everyone's buddy.
But he is the one who really messed up the whole thing.
It's true, and he doesn't know where Caroline is. He shows Elena the spot on the map where he used to hashtag van life. Mm-hmm. He drops a pin.
Yep.
On the hashtag.
He didn't just print out a whole bunch of directions on MapQuest and hand it to her. I feel like that's probably what should have happened.
Probably that era, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he, what was it, a TomTom? He he gave her a TomTom with the coordinates already in there.
Yeah.
Or, do you know this one? A Thomas guide.
Yes.
He was like, it's C9 on the Thomas guide.
But I think that's what TomTom came from, the Thomas guide.
Oh.
Also, yeah. I got you a TomTom when you moved to LA.
I know, because Thomas guides were on their way out. TomToms were brand new.
Yeah.
Thomas guides were on.
That was a good gift.
It was. I used it all the time for years.
And it was little. You could, like, take it out of your car and bring it around.
Yeah, it had a suction cup that sometimes, when it got too hot, it would fall off. And I'd be like, oh, shoot, oh, God, skirt. Let's crash. And then I laughed, Tom.
Those are the days.
They were. So, Elena and Alaric put the beep boops into their TomTom and...
Okay, is this a good time to talk about the silly voice your dad has on his navigation?
They're headed to the mountains on a full moon. Have we not talked about it before?
I don't think so. I feel like we have to mention it briefly because it is so silly.
Yes.
So I don't know what like everyone else's navigation voice is. I'm expecting it's like the default. I don't think a lot of people take the time to change the voices on like their Waze or whatever.
No, and I don't like someone telling me directions in audio.
Yeah, you usually turn it off.
I look. I'm not that auditory person. I'm listening to pods, man. Mm-hmm. I don't want my Waze talking to me. But anyway, some people, they're like, oh, I want a lady to tell me where to go. I want a guy to tell me where to go, right? Mm-hmm.
No, I can't do this impression. Okay. I need you to do it.
So we just get in the car, and my dad is driving, and he puts in the whatever on the Waze, and we're going, and we're talking, and then all of a sudden there's a voice that's like, at the next intersection, turn left. At Main Street, turn right. Take the exit. And we're just like, what's going on? And my dad, with like no irony or sense of humor about it or whatever,
Dead serious.
It just was like, what? And we're like, the voice on your Waze. And he saw nothing strange about it whatsoever. He was just like,
yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. He was, not like I like it, it's hilarious. Or I think it might be like, if it was just a normal voice, he might tune it out, or it would be too close to whatever radio he was listening to. Maybe, I don't know. But he offered no explanation. And I was just like, yeah, that's the one I have. And then I think I saw the like description of it, and it was like pop idol or something, like British pop idol.
Well, it also weirdly sounds a little bit like your dad's singing voice.
So
it sounds like he himself is singing the directions to himself.
Oh my gosh.
I've known about this for years, and literally every single time that we hear it or talk about it, it brings me to tears laughing because it is so funny.
It's so funny, and like the kids are there, and
they think it's hilarious.
They think it's funny too, and I think by now my dad like knows it's kind of funny or whatever. But for the longest time, he was just listening to that.
Turn left.
Yeah, that teen idol, that British pop idol, whatever. Just that's how he got around.
Yeah, well,
still does.
That's what Tyler gave Elena at the grill.
When you get to the Smoky Mountains, turn right, Damon.
Take the roundabout.
Then you'll be near #van life.
Okay, worth it. I'm so glad we memorialized this. Is that the right thing to say?
Yeah,
on this podcast.
We put it on wax.
Okay, now we'll just be sniffling the whole time because
deleted.
we were laughing too hard.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, back at the campsite, vamp site, except it's werewolves. Mm-hmm. Klaus is holding court with the werewolves. Ray wakes up. He needs human blood or he will die. Mm-hmm. But he needs that blood to turn into a hybrid. And
I mean, they're just assuming that there's going to be a human in this wolf pack. That's pretty risky. They didn't even bring a human.
I feel
like that was not very, put together for Klaus. I feel like he usually has better plans than that. He should have brought a human.
He should have BYO human.
Yeah.
And the sort of reversal was that the big tall guy was the human, and the shorter lady was a werewolf.
Yeah, right.
But that big guy looked like a werewolf.
Mm-hmm. He had some good facial hair, right?
Yeah, he had some facial hair, and he just was super tall, and he's just a werewolf significant other.
Yeah, you thought he was going to be one, but he wasn't.
Yeah, I think they probably didn't BYO human just for that joke, maybe, or for that reversal.
Okay. We'll take it.
Or they maybe would have had to have a whole scene where they pulled someone off the road or something.
They could have just been like, come with me. Like, it could have been like 3 seconds. You just compel them.
Where were they? Well, maybe they could have put in the cold open. It was 7 hours long.
Is it still the cold open?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't remember you saying that it wasn't.
No, we saw the 3D Simpsons.
Oh,
logo.
yeah. Okay.
Right.
I'm like, gee.
So Stefan's like, you better drink this human blood, or I will, Ray, and I don't know how to stop.
Yeah.
Ray drinks the blood. Klaus feeds another girl some blood. I was like, he's turning all these hybrids into a hybrid army. And then like 3 minutes later, Stefan says that, and Klaus is like, no. But basically, yes.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
But not to start a war, just so he's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ty is playing pool. He's been at the grill forever. He thought he was meeting Caroline, but no one has seen her.
Mm-mm. He feels like he got ghosted.
Oh, but instead he got vampired. Matt, we got some pug sounds in the background.
I'm petting her while she's eating this bone, and then she's growling at me.
Yeah, she wants to be boning down by herself. Matt is smad about Ty and Caroline.
Yeah, well, for sure. Well, he should be. He was in love with Caroline. Ty was a BFF.
Best friend.
Yeah.
Tonight is a full moon, he reminds Ty, and Caroline usually helps him on full moons.
I know. I thought it was sweet that even though Matt is smad about it, that he was also like, oh, she usually is the one who helps you. Oh, do you need help?
Yeah, can I help you, bro?
Yeah, I thought that was nice. Because Matt's a good guy. Even though you hated Matt. Do you still hate Matt? You hated him for the whole, first season at least.
I know. He's fine. I like Jeremy a lot more. Matt moved up a couple of rungs, and Jeremy's just on the roof doing the Rocky dance or something.
Yeah. Jeremy's great. But Matt's a good guy.
Thanks, but no thanks. And then Ty drinks the coffee and says that the oat milk turned to bread. And he's like, why does this coffee taste weird too? And then Matt's like, oh, I put vervain in it.
Yeah, and then Tyler connects the dots, and he's like, oh, wait, my mom put vervain? Why? She thinks I'm a vamp? Why? Yeah.
Bill Bellamy arrives at the Lockwood Mansion. He is going to teach Carol Lockwood how to be a player.
Nuh-uh.
He doesn't know... Oh, she doesn't... Carol doesn't know what to do with Caroline.
Mm-hmm. She says she's known her since she's been born. She doesn't want to make any decisions, really.
Yeah.
Or be involved. It's also like, well, then why did you, stalk her out, basically, and shoot her with a vervain dart?
Yeah,
She didn't want to be involved, you weirdo.
Yeah, she's reaping and now sowing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a vampire, Carol. We have to do what we have to do. Ash, Carol, did we know that her name was Carol? Carol and Caroline? I mean, come on, Ty. Oedipus much?
Did you write that down?
Yes. Sadly.
That's funny.
They just have, similar names. It's not... They don't have a lot in common. Alaric and Elena are in the mountains. Mm-hmm. Alaric is a Boy Scout / vampire hunter.
Yes.
He has weapons in his backpack. If when I was 8 or something, I would have loved this backpack. I mean, I still would. I probably wouldn't have a lot of chances to use it. But when I was a little kid running around in my backyard or whatever, I would always want to have little weapons and stuff, and a piece of Lincoln log would be my sword and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cute.
So I like this backpack.
He has a bunch of things in it.
Yeah, when you kind of zoom out a little bit, you're like, man, Alaric is a weird nerd. He's making all these weapons. I mean, to be fair, he was right, and then he's used all of them.
Yeah.
But if it was... It's he's like a doomsday prepper in a way, but then he got lucky and did start having to interact with vampires.
Yeah, he got to actually do it.
But it's some person out in the middle of nowhere with a bunker in our real world with a bunch of cans in it and just will never use it.
I don't know. Maybe when all the grocery stores got empty in COVID, they were like, yeah.
Yeah, they went down and lived in there for a week, and then they came up and were like,
never mind. I'll just go to the grocery store.
Yeah, Trader Joe's still open. Yeah.
They were probably sized for a minute.
He has a Wolf's Bane grenade. Yeah. It's Chekhov's Wolf's Bane grenade.
Looked like a mason jar with some pee in it to me.
Oh, that's a good weapon too.
Easy to make.
I'm gonna start carrying those around in my backpack. Elena gives Alaric John Gilbert's ring to protect him from supernatural danger.
Yeah, that was smart and nice. Everyone's being nice.
Everyone's being nice. They're being thoughtful. She's a doppelganger, and it won't work for her. We
already had that exposition, but it was a good reminder for those who forgot.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of, like, rules, you know?
Yeah.
They gotta just bring them up every once in a while. Remember, I'm a doppelganger. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And she quips just like that quipster from Hollywood Square. She's like, don't want you to get killed before happy hour, because we know Alarc's been drinking a bit.
Yeah, what's it called? Something the sauce. What do you do? How do you say it? Hitting the sauce?
Yeah, he's been hitting the sauce.
Is that the right phrase? Is that the right turn of phrase?
What about wheezing the juice? Like Pauly Shore.
Oh, I don't know.
On the sauce? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, on the sauce. Okay. Go ahead, next.
I have a typo. Instead of Damon, it's Des Moines. He whooshes up and throws Elena in the water.
He pushes her into the water.
Instead of throws?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
It's just like a wham.
Yeah.
It's very surprising and jarring to see her just all of a sudden be like, whoa.
It was. Mm-hmm. I think that was like an act out. Who did that? What's happening?
And then, yeah, Damon's just like, you're not climbing up this mountain with all these werewolves.
No.
On a full moon. And then Alaric and Elena keep being like, well, we need to get back before, the full moon. We have this many hours, blah, blah, blah. And it reminded me of you when you drove us up Sequoia. And you were like, we need to get back down the mountain before it turns dark.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
No.
And it was rainy and foggy and very dark and scary.
It's terrible.
So we were in a similar predicament.
Yes, and I don't know. There probably was werewolves up there.
At least some kind of, definitely other creatures.
Yeah.
Life-threatening creatures.
Some Mothman prophecies up there. Ash, I said that Klaus wanted to build an army of hybrid slaves. Mm-hmm. That's what Stefan says also.
That's why I love you both.
And Klaus says, no, soldiers. Stefan says, for what war? And then Klaus says whatever he says. He says... If you
stay ready,
yes,
you gotta get ready.
That's what yes.
I finally knew a thing. I almost said it backwards also.
I think that was Chi-Chi who coined that one.
Yeah.
Ray is transitioning. He's bleeding a lot. Elena had to be in this water for so long.
Yeah.
To shoot this. Dobrev had to be in this water for so long to shoot this. Elena is determined to save Stefan, but she's only safe if Klaus doesn't know she's alive, which, oh my gosh. Later in the episode, he's like, I'm so mad.
Yes.
I did everything. I did this. I killed the doppelganger. And I was like,
oh no, that's why it's not working.
I was like, why isn't it working? Is this just not a thing that works? This just isn't a thing that happens?
He's just all the way wrong.
And I was like, no, the piece of the puzzle.
And no, and then she risks herself and so many things by going up there. Yes. Too risky, Elena.
Damon references the deathbed kissy thing.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
Klaus's hybrids aren't working. It's like when I drove that Prius and I don't know. All right.
It was in charge?
Yep. It's just like that time. That definitely happened. Ray bites Stefan. Both of these bros have had werewolf bites.
And when he first bites him, it's like just some teeth mark holes.
Yeah.
And then 1 second later, it's like a full flesh wound.
Yes.
So gross.
So gross.
Blech. Blech.
Blech. Ray.
Every time you say Ray, I keep thinking Star Wars Ray.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that, and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, no. Every time.
Kylo then does this.
It would be a crazy crossover.
If Ray came in here and just started...
whooping butt in the woods?
Yeah, just slicing hybrids in half.
Yeah. With
a lightsaber. With a Wolf's Bane lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And uses the Force to pour a glass of pee on somebody.
You don't pour it, you throw it so they get the glass shards and the pee.
Ew. Ash,
It's a grenade, not a glass. They're not just like pouring it out slowly.
Ash, you're determined to make me have to slap a E on this? saying shards? What's going on with Ray? He's biting somebody. Stefan hears Damon and Elena and Alaric.
And he sees them, he hears them, and then he looks to the left, and they're also just right there. Like, usually...
I think that was a cut. No, they were far away.
Well, no. I think it was from his perspective. The vampire hearing is supposed to be from far away, but it's like a normal human could have just heard them.
No, you think that he had zoominizers on there, but he did not. He was just like, huh? And then they just cut to a medium shot of those guys.
I don't know. I don't know. I think they were really close.
All right, I'll arm wrestle you for it. Man, I'm like in the same thing, losing my place over and over. Okay, Klaus says, find Ray, and then I'll heal you to Stefan.
Oh, yeah.
Klaus's blood.
Yeah, he's like, so I got bit by Ray. Can you heal me? He's like, yeah, no, first find him.
Yeah.
And Stefan's like, are you serious? Like, I'm doing all this stuff for you, and you're just gonna let me die from this werewolf bite?
Klaus, yeah.
He's mad.
I said all Klaus's hybrids look hungover. They're all like, ugh.
Yeah, and bleeding from the eyes.
Yeah. That happens. So don't drink, kids.
Yikes.
Ty confronts Lady Carol.
His mom.
About the vervain in his coffee. Why were you testing me? And she's like, because you're spending time with Caroline. She's a vampire. And they're like, don't pretend that you don't know what this is and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they both say don't pretend to each other.
She knows she's a vampire. You can't be with her. She's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
You could have taken this line straight from my spec screenplay.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
You don't know about me, do you? Ty says to his mom.
Which is such a revelation for him. He assumed that he was always the one, like, in the dark, and everyone else in his family knew what was going on, but he didn't know that his mom didn't know.
So his mom... So was his dad a werewolf as well? I know Brother Mason was. Mm-hmm. His dad was sneaking out as well.
Yeah, and his wife didn't know anything.
That's commentary about the tangled web. These Virginians
yeah
live and
but I thought it like she's like, what do you mean what I don't know about you? But he's also like realizing, wait, my mom doesn't know I'm a werewolf.
Yep.
She should know.
The other day was National Coming Out Day.
Right.
Very appropriate.
He does it in a strange way. He puts his mom in the closet.
And he gets nude.
All right.
Hey.
Whatever works for you.
I've heard a lot of these coming out stories. Some of them are kind of like that. Ray walks up to Elena and Damon and Alaric. He's trudging through the woods, bleeding. Mm-hmm. Ray presses Damon up, and then, like, Alaric or somebody, Wolf's Bane grenades him.
Elena.
Pours the pee on him. Take this pee. Matt shows Jeremy all of Vicky's stuff. They find her weed pipe.
Yeah, he's like, does her pipe count?
They need personal stuff for the connection. Matt is emotional about it. And Jeremy's like, you have a chance to help your sister. And he's like, I can't do this. And then the picture frame falls, then rights itself.
Yeah. No, Matt puts it down.
Oh, yes.
When he's like, I can't do it. And then Jeremy leaves. And then he turns back and it's back up again.
It's like, poof. Mm-hmm.
That would have been silly if that had happened in that short film that you made.
I was thinking about the short film and I was not going to bring it up because I didn't want to explain it.
We don't have to explain it. You will never know.
But that was good. It might be on my YouTube. I think it is.
You never plugged your YouTube before. That's another
I
thing.
don't know if I know how to do a YouTube anymore.
That's okay. We used YouTube when it was first created.
I was one of the first people on there, just like I was one of the first people on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. We are ancient.
And remember Ask Jeeves? Used to be Ask Pete. And then they changed it. I couldn't handle all the questions. They turned it over to like an AI thing, but usually before it was just me.
Just you answering.
Yeah. I was bad at it. I didn't know a lot of
You're
stuff.
my legit Google search. Ask Jeeves. I ask you
Ask
so many
Jeeves.
things.
Yeah. And then I just look it up on Ask Jeeves. I Bing it.
Bing.
Elena and Alaric and Damon tie up Ray. His neck gets all weird.
Oh, yeah, because he's like transitioning or whatever.
His neck gets all weird. I was about to say that again.
His neck gets weird. We get it.
Ash, after that, his neck gets weird.
What happens to his neck?
All right, he starts to change, neck included. Now we gotta get out of here, Elena's saying.
Yeah.
It's getting real for her.
Now it's too close to the full moon. They're actual wolves already.
We're at the campfire with Klaus. He kills the tall guy. And the other hashtag van lifers aren't doing so well. Hey, I've heard of Van Wild or Van Lifer.
Okay.
Elena falls in the woods. Yep. I was going to make a if a tree falls joke, but I had nothing at all. She just falls down.
Yeah.
Don't humor me.
Oh, but it's that musical that talked about the tree falling. Dear Evan Hansen. I can't pull the lyric right now. I'm too tired.
Gosh. I don't know it. A wolf is right there. Do we know which wolf that is?
No.
Whoa. Damon and the wolf whoosh around. It's a full moon. Tyler goes to the uncle basement. Wants to show his mom that he's a monster.
Yeah.
It's our family curse. She didn't know.
She's still confused.
He changes in front of her. A little old to be doing that. Damon's walking through the night woods into a well-lit spot of the forest. Ray comes at him. They fight. And then, like, Stefan rips out Ray's heart from the back.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want Elena to chase you, Damon says, I'd stop with the late-night phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan's
like, I didn't call her.
Right, he's lying.
Lying.
Stefan wants Elena to give up on him. He's never coming back.
He wants to keep everybody safe.
Mm-hmm. Control freak. Just kidding. Elena and Alaric in the car. Elena knows they're in like I think they're Chevys this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Elena knows Alaric still wants to take care of people, even though he keeps saying he's a lost cause. He's like, I'm a lost cause.
Yeah.
I drink too much, blah, blah. I drink whiskey for breakfast like Miss Lockwood.
Well, it would be hard to do his job with him drinking all the time. I feel like he must be so tired.
Our family is gone, Elena says, and you don't have anybody either, Alaric.
We're made for each other. So.
Alaric is like, I'm keeping the ring, and Damon walks to the car, and Stefan is watching from the ridge. That's when he's actually watching. Before he was just listening.
No, he was watching.
Elena knows he's there.
Yeah.
Matt changes his mind about talking to his sis.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy is so chill in this episode, I said.
Yeah,
and you were saying that earlier.
He was too chill.
I said he's V-chill. Matt brings brew dogs and Vicky stuff. They're gonna like sip a couple, talk to his dead sister.
How did he get the beer? He's underage. We didn't get the scene where he got the beer. Probably from his VA Beach mom. Left it in the fridge.
Uh-huh. I was just thinking probably from the grill because everyone gets all their groceries from there as well as eating every meal there.
The grill. I'll take this six pack. Kiara, why are you trying to think I'm taking your bone? I don't want that.
Give me that bone. Give me that bone. Give me that bone. That that growl.
Just the featured audio for the werewolf
Oh,
part.
yeah. Ray, come here. Oh. All right, she really wants this bone, so we're going to leave her alone now. Look, we're still getting to know each other.
Of course. Also, I was teasing her.
Yeah, you don't tease a dog nor wolf. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what I thought was weird is Matt brought over all that stuff, like a whole bunch of Vicky's stuff.
Yeah.
It was only undies. I was like, that's really weird, Matt. Jeremy doesn't remember his last moment with Vicky. Vicky then appears. Only Jeremy sees her, though, and she can come back. But how? And then the window breaks. Mm-hmm. And Anna says, don't trust Vicky. And I was like, I don't know which of these ghosts to trust.
This is the part you liked.
Yeah.
You liked this little confusion.
Yeah.
She's like, help me. Don't listen to her or whatever. Don't trust her.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I was on board to listen to Vicky. And then I'm like, Anna said not to. Mm-hmm. I believe the second person because I heard her
most recently.
And that's how I vote also.
Not true.
Stefan brings Ray back to the campsite, and it looks like everyone is dead. They went rabid. Mm-hmm. Klaus is mad.
Klaus is so sad.
Klaus is sad, but when people are doing mean stuff and then they're sad, so what?
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yeah, good. You're sad. I'm glad. He thinks he killed the doppelganger.
Yeah, he's like, this should have worked. I did all the things. I even killed the doppelganger. And Stefan's like,
I truly thought he was going to get found out right then. Stefan is dying, though.
Yeah, he's like, so about that.
He plays the sympathy card. He's like, do what you have to do. I said Klaus is going to be so mad when he hears that Elena is still alive, which obviously that's going to happen. That's not even a Pete-Diction, that's a Pete-Scription.
Why are you going to make yourself laugh so hard?
That's a Pete-Scription. Either that's means like a prescription for what's going to happen, or like it's a
like scripture,
in
like
the
written
script. Yeah. That's great.
Pete-Scription.
That's gonna happen because that type of thing always happens. The worst. In order to have like a good thing, you do the worst thing possible. Mm-hmm. That's very funny. What else is happening? Oh yeah, he puts his blood in the beer bottle because he's a bro.
Yeah.
He's a bro for life. For someone who lives a long time, Ash, I made this observation. For someone who lives a long time, Stefan is often like, okay, I'm about to die right now. Mm-hmm. So often.
Well, think about how many times we think our kids are about to die. Because
but not for real.
Because they risk their lives so often. And it's like these vampires are all up in the mix. It's more likely that they could be at risk. They could just be at risk of dying often.
Yeah.
Their lives are too risky.
Yeah, like monsters are kind of like mobsters in that they're in kind of like a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
And then so he's always like, oh, I'm about to die. I've been alive for hundreds of years. Now I'm going to die right now. And then something changes. And he's like, oh, I guess I'm still living. Mm-hmm. Some alt rock begins playing, and Stefan swigs his blood beer.
Yeah. Okay.
The montage begins with the alt rock. Elena comes out of the shower, and Damon's in her room, not drunk. Mm-hmm. Damon saw Stefan out there. Is he okay? No. He's a martyr, but he can be saved. Mm-hmm. And Damon's like, my bro can't let me die, I owe him the same in return. And they're going to help each other, bring him back. Elena didn't want Damon to get hurt. That's why she turned back at the mountain. She was worried about him. Damon made her say it.
Yeah.
Damon wants Elena to remember how she felt while Stefan was gone. The emotions. Alaric is moving back in. Damon's like, "What's up, Rick?" He's like walking out. He's like, "What's up, Rick?" That was funny.
Hey, Rick.
And Ty wakes up nude, and his mom says she'll make sure nothing happens to Caroline. She calls Bill. Bill tries to talk to her about it, and he's still going to go through with it.
Yes.
Caroline is in a different uncle basement, chained up. Bill is there. The Saw music plays, and Bill is her dad.
I didn't it is this. Yeah, it was that Saw music. Yeah, she's all, "Daddy." What? What's he gonna do with her daughter? His daughter.
So this Bill Forbes? We don't know. I mean, we know it's Bill Bellamy, the actor who's playing the guy. But Forbes, Cher Forbes, she could be back to her maiden name. So we don't know. Bill who?
Bill. Daddy Bill.
Bill Daddy.
Oh, Bill Daddy. Dang-a-lang.
Ash, how many fangs would you give this particular episode of the program?
I would have to say that I liked the episode more after we talked about it. Because when I was thinking about it before the podcast, I was thinking like it was a lot of recapping last episode and setting up next episode. I just felt like it was kind of like an in-between kind of thing. I mean, that's always part of every episode, sort of, anyways, but I felt like it was mostly that. But I like it a little bit better now that we digested it. So I'm going to give it a 1.5 fang.
Wow. I'm going to go... What?
1.5 fangs.
1.5 fangs. I'm going 2 fangs, 1 for each ghostly ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
Good app.
He likes the ghosts.
There was no Caleb story.
That's good. I'm glad you liked all the storylines.
There was no Bullet and all his sons.
I know.
Storyline.
Well, that was a bad one.
Real ones know what I'm talking about. What?
Real ones know what I'm talking about. I'm with you.
Ash. Pete-Dictions and Pete-Scriptions.
We've already heard a scription and a... Did you Pete-Dict already? I don't know.
There was like a mid-show dict.
That's what I thought.
Dictation. What's going on? All right. Will Jeremy have to get Bonnie involved? I think he's going to start messing around in this realm and then have to get Bonnie to bail him out. Bail his butt out. But he's going to delve. He's going to talk to some GGFs, some ghost girlfriends.
Do you believe Anna or
Vicky?
Vicky. Gosh.
Man, I don't know. Because I was believing Vicky, and then Anna said one thing, and now I'm like...
Oh, but wouldn't that be so bad for Matt if Vicky is not telling the truth?
I guess. I mean, it's all bad that people are dead and then they're ghosts and stuff. Knocking over your picture frames.
How do you feel about Klaus? Are you still like on board with the werewolf hybrid jam? I guess you said you liked all the storylines, so that's good.
Yeah, I do. I think that in this episode, maybe for the first time since Klaus has been introduced into the series, we saw vulnerability, and not like I'm saying he was vulnerable emotionally or whatever, but he wasn't on his game.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
And he was like, there were cracks in his armor. And even though he is like bullying Stefan and bossing him around and making him do all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that he likes Stefan a lot, or not likes him, but like trusts Stefan to a certain degree.
He like appreciates him, sort of.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting relationship between the two of them.
He's supposed to be all-powerful Klaus, Stefan, do my bidding, but he's also like, oh, Stefan.
Yeah, but Stefan's like, can we stop?
Let's drink these beers.
Yeah, Stefan's like, let's stop the small talk.
Yeah.
I'll just do the things, but like, Stefan doesn't want to be Klaus's friend.
No, it's a little bit like Seth Rogen and James Franco in Pineapple Express at the beginning, where Seth Rogen's like, let me... I can't do it, but he's like, let me just get this weed and get out of here. And James Franco's like, no, hang out.
Right. Yeah, totally.
And the weed is the blood.
The werewolf curse. The hybrid curse. Mm-hmm. That he's...
Also, Seth Rogen and James Franco were smoking a indica sativa
hybrid.
Boom.
All right.
I don't know if they were actually, but...
Well, we're going out on that.
I haven't seen Pineapple Express in a minute. Although we were at the premiere. That's another story for another time. That's when Ash and I do our Hollywood Dish podcast.
It's one episode long.
Ash, what else you gotta say? You do another hour, go.
Thanks for listening. I'm very sleepy. I hope you couldn't tell. I got nothing.
Okay, Ash. It's the scariest month of the year.
Boo.
Ash, if you want to read an anthology of short horror fiction...
I do.
You know you gotta pick up Horror from the High Dive Volume 1 from wherever you buy books.
Oh, yeah, and you're wearing Stephen King Rules shirt. That's spooky.
Stevie. Good old Stevie King. Hey, on the author front, R.I.P. Gary Paulson.
Yeah.
We just learned about that.
R.I.P.
Hatchet. We love it.
Hatchet was a banned book also.
Man.
It was banned book week last week.
Whoa. Was Horror from the High Dive in there?
No, you should read it.
Look, I would say if you're not going to buy Horror from the High Dive Volume 1, start a sort of like online campaign to burn it, which means people will buy copies and then burn them. And then all the people who aren't burning them will be like, whoa, what's this book that people are so mad about that they're burning them? I want to read it.
No.
And then they'll buy it.
You shouldn't burn books.
They'll buy. It'll be double the audience.
No, just buy it and read it.
No burning books. Just buy it and read it. Fine.
Don't burn books.
You won me over. No burning books.
I'm listening to you like, what is he saying? Is he being serious? No, don't burn books.
No. Okay, Ash. Yeah, that's all we got. This is a good episode.
We said a lot of things.
We did. At High Dive Publishing on Instagram. And yeah, we'll probably see you next week. Who knows?
Bye.